All right, we're here with Mr. Charles Chapman today. Um, for those of you who don't know, that's my husband. Charles is a poet and author, and we're here to talk with him about his work today. Hi, Charles.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, excellent. So, you have a new book. Yay! Woohoo! But I want to ask you a few questions before we get to the book.
Okay.
At least one question. When did you start writing?
I started writing way back when in junior high school. People call it middle school today. I wrote in the seventh grade. Just started writing um, just little short stories, and I really started in the eighth grade writing a couple plays for class assignments, and then it just kind of grew into short stories all the way until today. And poems I started writing, I think around ninth grade, and that is something that I also have been doing since to now. Professionally or semi-professionally, you could say, I started writing I started writing for my college newspapers, a few community newspapers or magazines, and I do that from time to time whenever someone asks me to write for an assignment, and I'm pretty much a freelancer that way.
Okay, so you started out writing short stories. Is that what I understand?
I did before I wrote the poems.
Okay, you probably get this question a lot because you're from LA. Did you ever consider writing for Hollywood?
I thought about it when I was in ninth grade. I created a series of short stories that I thought would be a series one day. You know, you watch as a young kid, you watch a lot of television, and you think, oh yeah, I can create something just like that. And started to do that. My homeroom teacher, her husband was a television screenwriter. So they took a look at my short stories and they really encouraged me to keep going. And without their help, I mean, I would never even consider publishing as many books as I have already. And I really appreciate them for that.
Okay, so you stayed with what you knew best. You just decided to um, write for print. You just wanted to write books.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. So, I can't wait. Let's just do this now. Tell us about your new book.
Storm over South Central is,
Oh, get it. Hold it up and see.
sure, Storm over South Central is what you may call an anthology
Hmm.
because I have poems and short stories. The poems are part of my Heart of a Man series. It's conclusive, but I also include short stories in that, and hopefully it'll make you happy, it'll make you cry, make you think, whatever mood strikes you that way. You can. It's all in Storm over South Central.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so um, you write poems, you write short stories. Are you ever going to write a full length novel?
I'm working on one right now, and I think I'm I no, I know that I'm going to work on a second one I've already written. Next year, I'm going to have to revise that and get it out for public consumption, hopefully in 2022 or in 2023. But yes, I'm going to have two on the way.
Okay, you're busy. That's
Yes.
good. That is excellent. So let me just ask you a different kind of question. Who are your favorite writers?
Langston Hughes, William Shakespeare, even though he's a playwright. Um, since I graduated from Cal State University with and English was my major, I've been exposed to all type of writers: William Faulkner, Mark Twain, Richard Wright, and James Baldwin. They are also part of that group of famous authors that I love to take a look at and get something from the works.
Pick one out of all of those. What is it about them that you like so much?
Okay, because I've read his book so many times. Richard Wright, Native Son. The character of Bigger Thomas is pretty much a reflection. He reflects what society is looking at black men, especially in that time, and thinking around the 1940s, and the incident that had them involved with people on both sides, people in his community, Chicago, the other community, the white community, certain segments in the white community that try to help him or go against him. And I like writing. I like writes appeal in that way to the reader. He makes us see what's going on with the character of Bigger Thomas and what society, the impact it has on him, and also his impact on society too.
I would agree with you. A lot of those writers like Wright are so influential, and they've definitely influenced another generation of writers. So I would agree with you on that. And so back to you and your books. How many books have you published?
3 books so far, and I'm so glad I got the third one out, which is Storm of South Central.
What are the titles of your other books?
The titles of my other books are The Depths of My Soul and The Voices of South Central.
Okay, and out of these three, if you had to pick one, which one would you say was the most rewarding to have published?
I would say it is this book, Storm over South Central, because I finally have a chance to share my short stories and not only finish my poems that I hope people will like, but also write short stories that I think speak to all of us. If you don't mind, I like to describe some of the short stories I've written so far
Yeah,
in the book.
before you do, I just want to say I've started reading, and I love the short stories, and the poems are definitely relaxing
Good,
to read
good.
and get into. So go ahead.
Okay, so one of the short stories I'm sure you've already have taken a look at, or the readers will take a look at, is a story called Father's Day, and that deals with a young man who goes to see his father, and he doesn't know exactly where his father is. So his mom tells him they all dressed up to see him, and where they go to see him is kind of a thought provoking commentary on the effects of seeing your father, wherever your father may be at that time. But I wrote that, and also change up to a couple of funny stories that may give the impression that, oh, this is all a book of all sad stories. I'll talk about the neighborhood. It's not that. Um, Don't Judge a Bum by is a story of a young man who has a misconception about the opposite sex, but he also runs into a gentleman on a in public transportation, and they have quite the conversation. And in fact, uh, appearances can be deceiving, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And one of the stories I'm real proud of that's in Storm over South Central is the albatross, which I posed a question. A loved one who is no longer there leaves a gift for this widower. You can probably tell where this is going. So the widower has to make a decision. Do I keep this gift or do I give it away? So we put the reader in that type of situation. I always say we, but I put the reader in that situation where they have to decide, along with the widower, what to do with this gift. And it's a really thought provoking piece. I think it's the best one I wrote. Now, I wrote this way back when I was 19 years old. So most of the short stories they're in the book, I've written for a long time. And I just now have the courage to bring them out for public consumption.
Okay, that's really good. Now, I have one last question for you. How has this pandemic helped or hindered your writing?
I think, as someone would know, that it's helped a lot. I recently had a stroke, an acute stroke, back in 2019, in the summer of 2019. So I was down for a while. And then with the pandemic, with no one going anywhere and our regular routines all stopped to a halt, I decided the best thing for me to do was just to sit down and work on all these projects that have been backlogging for a long time, including Storm of South Central. I wanted to really get that book out before anything else. So I worked on that, and quite a few other projects will hopefully be coming out within the next year. And I was able to work on them, and through a good friend of mine, able to find an avenue to which Storm would be published, and I'm so glad that it's out now for everyone to enjoy. It's on Amazon.com. I know that question's coming up, but
Yeah.
it is on Amazon.com. You can look under CharlesLChapman.com and scroll down to the Amazon page. They click the link, it'll take you to my page where you may buy a Kindle version and the print version, which I held in my hands earlier, of the book. Sorry to jump ahead like that.
That's okay. No, that's all right. We're about to wrap it up anyway.
Okay.
So we can find Storm Over South Central by Charles Chatmon. That's CHATMON on Amazon. And you can purchase it in print or via Kindle, right?
Yes.
Okay. So perfect. Thank you for spending some time with me to talk about your book, and I look forward to talking with you again, hopefully in the near future.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this interview. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.